Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Nico, and I'm actually doing something a little different right now. And what I mean by doing something a little different is I want to talk over a game in a replay to talk about what I'm doing, what everyone else is doing, what happened, instead of just, hearing me and my friends talk while we're in the game and saying like, oh, go this way and this person's here, retreat from that place because this person's missing and stuff like that. I want to show you like the whole thing. Only problem is, well, this game starts at 11 minutes, not 0 minutes, but it goes until 30 something minutes, so it's still 20 minutes of, showing off stuff. And I'm not exactly sure what to call this because it's a cool concept that I think you guys might like. I just don't have a name for it, so I don't know. But what I'm going to focus on is like when I did something, why I did it, and now that I can see all of the map, what I could have done instead, stuff like that. But yeah, oh, I forgot spacebar. We don't want free cam, we want assisted. And we want to go to me. Okay, so we just got a kill, but how did we get this kill? Go back a little bit. Okay, so this is where it starts. I ulted him, threw him, he goes in the air. I activated my 2 before he got his ultimate off, so I'm no longer silenced. That didn't do anything for him. Like, using Torrent there and teleporting that extremely short distance didn't help him at all. There seems to be stuff going down on mid. Zeus is getting jumped on. It's Tyler. He does not get away because Bastet kind of poops on mages without any type of escape. So he is going to get camped a little bit, and he's up against an Agni. So I do have to pay more attention to mid. The only problem is you'll see me not gank mid almost at all because it is Agni. And my mentality versus an Agni is basically, I can't gank him. Like, I know it's a shitty mentality, but it's kind of true. Like, Agni is an extremely safe character if you know how to play them. But I've just never been able to gank Agni with their dash up. Especially with, like, a character with, like, Mercury, who's has only 1 CC available to him if his ultimate is down. But yeah. Also, you could see Freya rotated from solo lane to mid camps. This is actually something you'll see a lot in a more competitive setting, but you don't see so much in casual. Here I'm trying to gank Apollo because he's actually pooping on our Ul kind of a lot. As you can see, he's 3 levels ahead of him and about 1,200 gold ahead of him, so I do need to pay more attention to the duo lane. One of my problems from Chaos side is actually ganking duo lane. In general, I don't gank duo lane, which can be a problem. It's just extremely hard to gank that lane if they're behind. Like, it's hard for anything to come out of it. But yeah. Like I was saying, Freya rotated the mid camps, which is something you'll see a lot of competitive players and high, like, ranked players do. But a lot of the time you don't see it in casual lobbies. It is something that you would... wait, isn't there a way to... Is it this button? No, it's not that button. There's a button to where you can cut down structures, but I don't know it. Wait, I want to pause it and find it real quick. User interface. No. Controls. No. Key bindings. Here we go. Is there not key bindings for Spectator? Oh, it's in Spectator. Okay. Fly down, zoom in, overview, free mouse, top player, overlays, view action, double speed, pause, faster, skip back. Where is it? I don't... Oh, are you kidding me? It's not on here? You've got to be shitting me. Move forward, backward, strafe. Fly up, zoom in, overhead, free mouse. There's a thing where you can cut off structures so it's easier to see, but I don't know what it is. Unless it's in directed mode, which I don't think it is. No. What is it? Fuck. Oh. Maybe it's doing it? Because that's supposed to be stuff there, but there's not. Oh wait, this doesn't record my mouse. Okay, so what you can see here is I have Golden Bow out of the jungle because I'm playing Mercury like you would if he was solo lane. Just because getting Golden Bow allows you to poke really, really effectively with the crit. And because Bastet used her cats on me and I was attacking the cats and Bastet was near the cats, I was killing her and the cats because of Golden Bow. So technically, Golden Bow on Mercury prevents Bastet cats from killing you, which is a good thing. Another thing, I think Golden Bow is way too strong on Mercury, and also, unfortunately, we're getting our blue stolen away over here. I think Golden Bow is way too good on Mercury because it allows him to play in the solo and ADC role. Unfortunately, I feel like the only way to fix Mercury, which he is getting nerfed, it has been confirmed by Hi-Res Chris, that the only way to make it to where he can be nerfed effectively without destroying him and he can still succeed in the jungle role, which is what people want him to be, a jungler, is for him to not be able to proc on hit effects with Meiju Look, or make Meiju Look smaller so he can't hit an entire wave with Golden Bow. But yeah, so Freya rotated solo camp, we talked about that. You can see we're grouping to get the mid camp here. I see Jeb after I go around, because I killed this, go to me. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Then I come back, see Jeb, see our Jeb, who's Trent, and I'm like, oh, and then I get hit by her. I'm like, oh no. But Trent gets the mid camp real easy because Jeb clears mid camps real good with the 2 and then hand. And I get leveled up for it. Trent goes in. Yep. Oh, come on, switch cameras. They kill that Jeb really easily, which is great. He got mid camps, but then he died. Really sucks for his team because we immediately call for Gold Fury because we know they don't have their hand 3. No, wait. Do we go for Gold Fury or do we gank Apollo? We gank Apollo and then we go for the Gold Fury if I'm not mistaken because Apollo's really low. Yep. And then here Trent stops because he's like, oh no, I got the kill. I didn't mean to do that. That's what he does. Bastet sees us taking this, but there's 4 of us in the area, so she ain't gonna fuck with us. She jumps away. Me and Freya go, hey, Speed's here. Let's steal that away from them. Agni is lurking. He does nothing. Freya knows he's there, apparently. He's going to dash away. Then we go for Gold Fury. Jeb is alive, but with our damage, we know we can kill it before he gets in the area. He also does not have Blink, so he would have to roll in. And by roll in, I mean use... Is it rollout? I don't think so. It might be. But he would have to use that to get in there. And then he would have to make sure to be CC immune before he's actually all the way over there. So Trent can't knock him up out of it with Shockwave. Here, Ul's getting jumped on. I want to see Ul. Jeb comes with the shield. Protects him. Easy stuff. No big deal. I'm just doing my farming thing. You'll notice that I don't gank a whole hell of a lot as Mercury, because Mercury's very late gamey. He's got a good early and mid game because of his 3 and his ultimate, but no matter what, as a jungler, your main priority is to farm. It is never to gank lanes to make sure they don't lose their lanes. It is to farm the jungle and leech off of certain lanes like solo and mid and stuff when you have the opportunity to stay ahead and try to get ahead and stuff like that. Here, Tyler's getting jumped on. He runs this way, pops sprint. He didn't need to do that because Apollo wasn't really committing to that, but I understand why he did it. Here we get a fucking hella good initiation on them. Like, it's stupid. We kill... Do we not kill anybody right away? But here I see Apollo go in the air, and I'm like, he's going to dunk Tyler, isn't he? He does. It's fucking stupid, and I hate that he did that. But we kill him, and then Trent kills the other Jeb. I really hated the fact that Apollo dunked down on Zeus because I saw that it was happening, and I knew I wasn't going to let it actually, like, him get away with it. And that's not a play you would see any really top-level player make. They wouldn't just kill somebody with really low health just to sacrifice themselves that same second. Especially since that Apollo was 3-1 at the time and was worth a pretty good amount of gold, and Tyler was 1-2 and was worth not that much gold. That's not a good trade. I got a decent amount for killing him. He got shit for killing Tyler. There was no reason for him to do that, and it genuinely made me mad that he did it, because it was a stupid decision and he shouldn't have done it. He got himself killed. He gave us more gold. It was dumb. He shouldn't have done it, and I I hate when people make stupid decisions. Here we see Freya getting jumped the fuck on because she's all the way up there with 0 wards, because as you see right here in this area that I just moved it, this is the enemy's ward because we're chaos side. So Freya, way pushed up without wards, gets triple ganked for it. Quadruple at this point because Agni's finally joined the party. I try to come over to help her, but there's nothing I can do. I'm just Mercury with Meiji looks. If I get a good crit off, I could maybe like dissuade them, but they were fully committed to that fight. Here, Jeb makes a really, really stupid decision of hanging around and fighting. Did I say Jeb? I meant Chalk. Makes a stupid decision to fight our Jeb, which I'm like, that's not smart. Then it's a 3v3. Cats again. I start fighting the cats because I have Golden Bow. And then Tyler comes back. We kill him real easy. Agni's trying to kill me. I stay to fight the fucking Bastet because I know if we get into an auto attack fight, see it, since she missed her bleed, I will win. Trent comes back. Even though I knew I was going to win this fight, he gives me Stone Shield anyway to make sure I win the fight. So I went back in specifically because I knew if she missed her abilities, if they were on cooldown, I will win. It's just how it's going to be. My in-hands do way more damage than hers because I build specifically for in-hand damage. Also, Bastet built Bumbas into Transcendence into CDR boots, and she's going into Jotuns. I don't agree with that because, I mean, Transcendence is not terrible on Bastet because she has every single ability scales at 100% physical power. Coming out of the jungle, first item, probably not the best idea, seeing as how you need boots to be able to move around the map and gank. I don't agree with it. So, Freya is doing her solo lane thing. Jeb's coming over here because he's got nothing else better to do. Like, he's trying to stay, like, caught up in Golden Farm. Trent's 3 levels ahead of him as the R support, which is really good. I came over because I saw they were doing that, and I was like, fuck! I wanted to kill their sentry ward before they killed ours, but I couldn't get over there in time because it's the new 3-hit wards. Apollo got a solo kill on our Ull. Ull is he's caught up quite a bit. He's about 300 gold behind, but that's it. We gank mid, kill Agni. Well, Tyler kills Agni, but probably with our help. Chalk comes in. Doesn't do much, in all honesty. Bastet comes back, gets blown the hell up. As you can see, I got some lucky crits. Trent comes in, gets some stuns. I die, Bastet dies, and I'm fairly certain Chalk dies. No, Jeb dies. I really, really wish she would have, like, there was one problem with Freya right there, is that she didn't stay on target, like, on one person. So we could have gotten 2 kills there, like the Jeb and the Chalk. Instead, we only got the Jeb, which sucks, but it is what it is. We get the mid tower, which is a Gold Fury amount of gold. Apollo's trying to solo Gold Fury, but we're all coming that way. It's funny because we stopped to do the mid Furies. We had no idea that he was even there, but if we hadn't stopped, we would have saw him backing. And by we, I mean Trent and Tyler. I even told Trent about this because I watched this game before and was like, this was happening and we had no idea because we didn't have wards. And he's like, really? I was like, yep. I'm still dead because I was level 20 already, so I had a really long respawn time. We get Gold Fury uncontested because Jeb's on the wrong side of the map, though he looks like he's going to ward Fire Giant because he knows that at some point that can be a point of contention, like, and something that they want to do. He actually starts it. I remember this. They do it, but we get it even though we lose 4 people. So, watch. So I'm like, they're missing. I'm going to check Fire Giant. They're there. I go in, stop them. I make sure that Apollo is not able to be in there because he's their main damage. Tyler comes in, ults. We get it because of Tyler's ultimate. We die, but they don't get it. It sucks that we died, and it sucks that Trent just got there just 1 second too late to save Tyler, but we prevented them from getting it, which, since they were behind, it could have allowed them to catch back up. Them killing us does give them a decent amount of gold and XP to catch up, but at the same time, if they would have gotten the Fire Giant, this could have ended a lot worse for us. We lost 4 people, but we also may have lost 4 people plus this tower and our mid Phoenix had we not gotten that away from them, because they would have had the pen damage and regen from the Fire Giant buff. So it sucks that we wiped almost like all the way, but at the same time it could have been worse. Here we're all just trying to, like, waiting to respawn. Jeb on the enemy team's level 13, so his tankiness isn't that great, which makes him a pretty easy target, to be honest. Words getting all kinds of mixed up. Trent's actually a fairly decent way ahead of him. He's 2k gold and 4 levels ahead of the enemy Jeb. Trent is very tanky comparatively. Chalk's doing his own blue buff. He missed it. He wasted some time. His minions are going to die without him getting any XP. I'm running around like, should I do blue buff? I'll just leave that for Freya to do whenever she wants. I'm going to go back because I can buy something. Because I never back for no reason. What do I buy? 2 wards and a sentry ward. I put down the 2 wards and I hold on to the sentry ward until we need it. And by until we need it, I mean I'm going to hold on to it until I see the respawn timer on the Fire Giant come really close so I can set it down there. Sometimes, especially near the end of the game, it's just good to have a sentry ward in your inventory at any point in time, just so you can put it down when an objective comes back up. It's definitely not something you should get out of the habit of. Like, you should get into the habit of buying sentries just whenever. Freya gets jumped on. They miss the stuns, which is good because she could have died from that. Here, there's kind of a stalemate that goes down until Trent is like... I think Trent goes in. Does he? He gets knocked up. No, that's not me. That's Freya. Another solo kill onto Ull. Trent goes in, gets a double stun, but we're not really there to lead up with it. Tyler comes in with a really good ult, to be honest. I get a pretty good ult. We kill Agni really easily because crits. They come, fight. Freya lives because we turn and burn the Bastet really quick. I stay near Freya because I don't know if Apollo's ult is up or down, and I already know this Apollo is willing to dive someone and die instantly right afterward. So I'm like, where's Apollo? Come on, come here. I know you want to do this shit. I've seen you do it before. I know your behavior. So I stood and watched that. There's nothing really for us to do right now because we've got the middle tower. Left lane is all the way pushed to our second tier and not pushed up. I go around to see if speed buff's up, just to see if it's there so I can steal it. I start fighting Apollo, get a lucky ass crit, and then I dash forward and don't get a crit and don't kill him. And it pissed me off, but it's RNG, what can you do? So now we steal their jungle because it's there, and then speed respawns, and I'm like, ooh, hello, and I steal that shit away because I'm Mercury and speed buff is amazing. We see that Gold Fury will be respawning soon-ish, and Fire Giant a little bit after. We are grouping up in the mid and right sides of the map, which is where we need to be to make sure we can contend with these objectives. We're pushing them out every single time. Apollo comes down for no real reason, though Tyler was in trouble. He combat blinks out because he knows Zeus doesn't have a lot of mobility, so he buys sprint and combat blink. It's like Freya's going in. I get a big crit off Made You Look. Bastet jumps out. She jumps back. I see that and I'm like, are you joking right now? So I turn around and I'm like, hell no. Like, because she was one hit. And then apparently the enemy team was pinging the map. I didn't know that was happening at the time, because how would I? So somebody on the enemy team was raging. Jeb doing nothing. I start Gold Fury because I know they're nowhere near it. Ull's pushing the left Phoenix, which is great because Fire Giant's about to respawn, and if this side, like, if this lane is pushed, that means they have to go from Fire Giant to here to defend it. This is an extremely long ways away. This is the perfect lane to get if you want to contend for Fire Giant. You want to get the Phoenix over here to make them know, if you fight us at Fire Giant, your Titan's going to take a shit ton of damage because of fire minions. Also, Freya either mistimed her ultimate, or it wasn't off cooldown in time for her to get out. Kind of wish she hadn't died. I also kind of wish Ull would have ran away, because I think he dies too? But yeah. I don't know if I kill Jeb here, but I might because of Trent. Yeah, I do. Jeb pretty much accepts that he's dead. We kill him, and I'm like, Fire Giant, let's go. They don't have hand 3. We do. Let's fucking do it. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure Trent finds out he doesn't have hand 3 off cooldown while we were doing this, which was funny to me. Unless this was another Conquest game I'm thinking of. Nope, he had it off cooldown. I thought it was this game. It was a different game that happened. Apollo ults in. Doesn't really have any backup. Unfortunately, Tyler wasn't quick enough to recognize that ult to get it off sooner, because it probably would have killed him instantly. But at the same time, it was very good because it kept their entire team out. So, very good zoning ult, maybe not kill potential ult. Apollo actually comes around because he's a greedy son of a bitch and steals our speed buff. Somehow, not that he knew about it, but he came over and was like, hey, guess what? I'm here now. And they kill him because they should have. Because he ulted in and he had no way out. Fuck that guy. Can't believe he was greedy enough to steal our speed buff. I'm like, let's push mid. Like, I go kill the minions here. Right? Kill minions. Yep, made you look. Killing some mins. That's what we do best. And then I'm like, what in their jungle is up? What can I do? I find red buff. Kill that. I don't think blue is up, so let's click. Oh, it is. I don't know if I do it, though. I think I go straight to lane. I do. I'm like, oh, there's blue. I don't care. Let's get this right tower. My team's pushing mid, which nobody called. They just kind of grouped mid. But I figured, hey, they're mid. I'm right. Let me kill this tower. I'm Mercury. I've got shit tons of damage. I have Fire Giant. I have damage buff. Let's kill that. They kill people mid. They're getting the Phoenix. I'm like, oh, hey, they're looking to end. I guess I'll join them. Because there's no point for me to get the Phoenix if they're going to end the game. Unfortunately, Uhl was like, oh, hey, let me get the Phoenix. Doesn't matter, though, because we do end up winning off this push. I almost die. Like, literally 10 HP. But we end up winning. So, yeah, all good stuff in the end. I don't know. Also, Uhl got Oboe. I don't know if I agree with that. Yeah, he doesn't have Deathbringer. Why would he get Oboe? That's weird. But yeah, we all say good game and stuff. Here are the player damages. Freya went 9-4. I went 10-2. Trent went 4-3-12. Or Uhl, he had said he hadn't played in a week prior to this game. So 3-4-4, not terrible for someone who hadn't played Smite for a week. Tyler went 4-4-13. He probably would have been like, oh, I died too many times. Which, you know, if you want to die as little as possible, that's true. But at the same time, as Zeus with no real mobility to get away from a Bastet and Agni, like a Bastet gank up against Agni, not bad. He could have died way more times if Bastet was like camping his lane way harder. Chalk ended up going 2-8-5. Bastet ended up going 1-7-7. Agni 6-3-5. Apollo 7-5-3. He could have avoided 2 deaths had he not been so super aggressive for no reason. Provided he would have gotten 1 less kill for sure, because that would have been on the Zeus. But that was also 1 less death. So he could have been 6-4-3. Potentially 7-4-3. But instead he went and dunked on people that didn't need to be dunked on. Like, he was doing stuff where his team wasn't there to back him up for whatever reason. And then their Jeb went 1-7-4. I should say that the Jeb did DC for a good 3 minutes before they, into the game. Or, not 3 minutes. He was playing, then he stopped moving, and then he was gone. And then he came back. Like, he was in the game helping Apollo. They got blue buff, they went to duo lane, and then something happened, and then he wasn't there. But yeah. Player damages, 20,000 on Freya, 27,000 on me, 11,000 on Trent, which is kind of crazy because he's Jeb. He did more damage than the Chalk. Uhl was 17,000 and Tyler 18,000. Chalk 10,000, like I said. Bastet almost 14k. 26,000 on Agni. 29,000 on Paulo, which, I mean, he was hitting pretty, like, a lot of people with his ultimate, so it makes sense they would get a crap ton of damage, and then their Jeb with 5,771. And then here you can see builds of everybody if you wanted to know. Don't agree with the Bastet build. Don't think it's that good. I don't know what this is about. Don't know why you'd build Transcendence first item out of the jungle instead of boots so you can get around and gank. Don't know why you'd build Deathbringer on a character who's really good with abilities, because Shifter Shield would be better in that situation because you get 10 more power that goes to your abilities and you get some defenses and it's cheaper. Transcendence in general is really, really expensive, but it kind of makes sense on Bastet because it does a bunch of damage. Chalk actually had a good idea by going Ansile, and I think that's how you pronounce that, against the Freya. It counters her, gives him magical protection and everything. He also got Witchblade, which would help him duel her, but it didn't work out as much as he had liked because he went 2-8 and 5. I got Bloodforge after my Deathbringer and Rage because I wanted to be able to sustain in fights more. That, and I noticed the only tankiness being built was on Jeb, and I didn't need the Titan's Bane. All standard stuff except for the fact that he bought Oboe instead of Deathbringer, which is really strange because a Deathbringer would have given him more tower push and more just raw damage, whereas Oboe with this much damage doesn't make a lot of sense because it only scales with 50% of your total physical power, and with this much he only had 215, which means he was hitting Oboe charges or chain lightnings, whatever you want to call this, for 245 unmitigated, so probably somewhere around 180. Not that great. His crits would have been better if he had just had the Deathbringer, and he would have had more crit chance because the Oboe kind of only has a 25% chance to trigger. Zeus build. Tyler really, really likes getting a kind of hybrid build on Zeus where he gets burst damage and Demonic Grip. Demonic Grip makes sense on Zeus. I don't know why it's not picked up as often. You can land your auto attacks more. You debuff people's protections while getting your auto attacks on them, making your 3 do more burst damage. Plus Chronos Pendant, meaning he can get detonates off more. I like it. I think it's good. I'm the standard Mercury build, rush shit ton of crit, and then Bloodforge, Titan's Bane. Freya's build, I really wish she hadn't bought Polynomicon because Polynomicon has kind of been a dead item since they nerfed it so hard. She would have been better off with a Bancroft's Talon, in my opinion. But other than that, nothing crazy. Trent's is fairly standard support build. He didn't have a reason to build into a Witchblade or anything because none of them were scaling really hard with attack speed. Voidstone coming out at the end to give himself a little more damage and give Freya a little more damage, and Tyler. Good stuff, good stuff. Jeb, for DCing, he was building the appropriate things. He got Sov, he got Stone a Guy, he was trying to get really tanky. I don't know if I agree with multiple Witchblades, but I've seen it on competitive teams, like top 4 teams do it, where if somebody on the enemy team is rushing a shit ton of attack speed, they'll buy multiple Witchblades. I don't know if it stacks or not, so it could not, not sure. But I haven't tested it. I just know it makes sense in the fact that if you have multiple people with Witchblade, that means there's more of a chance that they're going to be around it, so they're getting debuffed still. I don't know if the debuff actually stacks. I don't think it does, but don't quote me on that. Apollo had the very standard ADC build. Agni's build was actually very good, except for the 3rd item, Obsidian Shard. I don't really get that. None of us were building any defense except for Jeb, so I don't think he needed to rush that. But what do I know? The Voidstone made sense because maybe if Zeus was doing a shit ton of damage to him and he was getting ganked by Jeb a lot, he was like, okay, I need some magical protection. Bastet's build I already went over, and Chalk I went over. But yeah, that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of analysis kind of thing, run through of a game. And I hope to do more. It's just hard to get games with replays because either somebody needs to be spectating me as the game starts and everything, or it has to be a really high elo match. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.